A lot of people just twist the wires together and wrap some tape around them. It's quick, but it can easily come loose, cause short circuits, or degrade over time. In this video, I'll walk you through each step, from stripping the wires properly, making a solid connection, to using heat shrink tubing, so the joint looks neat, clean, and super professional. Alright, let's get started. However, before getting into the wire connecting part, I need to clean my soldering iron first. Here's the English translation. I'm going to use Coca-Cola to clean off the rust. It might sound a bit unusual, but the mild acidity in Coca-Cola actually works really well for loosening and dissolving light rust. And even more interesting, I'm going to use it for electrolysis as well. I'll also add a bit of salt to the mixture. The salt increases the conductivity of the solution, which helps the electrolysis process run more efficiently. And after that, I'll spray a little WD-40 into the solution. WD-40 helps break down stubborn rust and add a bit of lubrication, so the metal doesn't oxidize again too quickly after cleaning. Next, I'll connect the rusty, dirty soldering tip to the wire so it can act as the electrode for the electrolysis setup. I'm not powering the soldering iron itself. I'm only using the metal tip as the part that goes into the solution. The wire connection just lets the current flow through the tip during the cleaning process. This is a piece of solder that I twisted into a spring shape, and now I'm going to connect it to the remaining wire. Now I'm getting a motorcycle battery ready to use as the power source. It provides a stable DC output, which is perfect for this type of electrolysis setup. I'll double check the terminals, make sure the connections are secure, and keep everything at a safe distance from the solution. I'll attach the two alligator clips to the battery terminals, one to the positive side and one to the negative. I'm being extra careful here because a motorcycle battery can deliver a lot of current. When the setup is connected to the battery, you can immediately see the reaction begin in the solution. Tiny bubbles start forming around the soldering tip and the spring-shaped piece of solder, showing that the electrolysis process has started. The rusted areas begin to loosen as the bubbles lift the debris away from a metal surface. I'm going to leave it here for now and get back to working on the wire connection. I'm going to show you how to connect electrical wires in a way that's both safe and visually clean. For the first method, I'm going to cut the middle section of the electrical wire. At the cut section, I'll take the exposed copper strands and tie a simple knot right at that point. But I'll keep it loose. The idea isn't to tighten the knot yet, just to create a small loop that will help lock the wires together later when we finish the connection. I'll do the same thing with the other piece of wire. That way, both ends have a loose knot ready. Now I'm going to thread the red wire through the loop of the green wire's knot, and the green wire through the loop of the red wire's knot. This way, the wires start interlocking, which will make the connection stronger and more stable before twisting them tightly together. Next, I'll tighten the two wire sections together. By pulling the loop snug and twisting the wires around each other, the connection becomes much more secure and won't easily come loose. This also ensures a solid electrical contact before we move on to the finishing touches. Now I'll cover the joined wires with heat shrink tubing. I slide the tubing over the twisted section, then use a heat source to shrink it down. As it tightens around the wires, it seals the connection, giving it a neat, professional look while also providing insulation and protect it from moisture or accidental contact. Once the heat shrink tubing has fully tightened, the connection looks clean and polished. The wires are neatly bundled together with no exposed copper, and the tubing hugs the joint snugly. Now, let's move on to the second method. This one is a bit quicker and works well for situations where you want a strong connection without too many steps. Next, we'll focus on the wire ends. This part is crucial because a clean, well-prepared end makes all the difference in creating a strong and reliable connection. First, I'll separate the copper strands of the wire. By carefully untwisting and spreading them out, it becomes easier to make a tight, even connection with the other wire. Next, I'll twist the copper strands back together. Twisting them tightly ensures that the wire is compact, easier to handle, and provides a solid electrical contact for the connection. I'll shape the end of the green wire into a small loop like this, and then thread the red wire through it. This interlocking method helps create a stronger, more secure connection before twisting the wires together. After that, I'll bend the red wire into a loop just like the blue one. At this point, the two wires form a shared loop, and I'll insert the ends of both copper wires into this common hole. This locks them together and ensures a tight, interwoven connection before twisting them securely. Next, I'll use pliers to pull both wire ends firmly. By applying strong, even pressure, the wires tighten around each other, making the connection very secure and ensuring there's no loose strands that could cause a weak point. Finally, I'll cover the twisted connection with heat shrink tubing. Sliding the tubing over the joint and applying heat makes it shrink tightly around the wires, providing insulation, protection, and a neat professional finish, just like we did with the first method. Once the heat shrink tubing has fully shrunk, the connection looks clean and professional. The wires are neatly bundled with no exposed copper. The tubing fits snugly around the joint, and the whole assembly feels strong and secure. It's both safe and aesthetically pleasing, giving the finished connection a polished, durable appearance. Now, let's move on to the third method. This one is ideal for situations where you need an extra strong connection or want a very compact joint. Keep watching to see just how effective this method is. You'll be able to see the strength and reliability of the connection in action, proving why this technique works so well for DIY electrical projects. In general, all three methods achieve the same goal: a strong, safe, and neat wire connection. Whether you prefer knots, loops, or a compact joint, each technique ensures reliable electrical contact and a professional finish. The choice depends on your project and how much strength or precision you need, but any of these methods will give you a durable, clean result. Each method can be used in different situations, so you can choose the one that best fits your needs. Consider the type of project, the space available, and how strong or tidy you want the connection to be, and pick the method that works most effectively for that scenario. Now, let's get back to the soldering method. After the electrolysis is finished, I'll take the soldering tip out of the solution and clean it thoroughly. Removing any remaining rust or debris ensures the tip is ready for smooth, effective soldering, making the wire connections even stronger and more precise. I'll use a bit of WD-40 and some sandpaper to clean the soldering tip. The WD-40 helps loosen any stubborn rust or residue, while gently sanding it removes the remaining debris. After this, the tip will be shiny, clean, and ready for optimal soldering performance. Once the tip is thoroughly cleaned, I'll attach it back to the soldering iron and start using it. A clean tip ensures the solder flows smoothly, making it much easier to create strong, neat, and professional wire connections. When soldering onto the wire, I place the tip against the exposed copper and feed in the solder. The solder melts instantly and flows evenly around the strands, coating them completely. You can see it forming a shiny, smooth layer that locks all the strands together, creating a solid electrical and mechanical connection. A properly soldered joint not only conducts electricity reliably, but also looks clean and professional. Now, I'm going to solder the wire connection itself. I press the clean soldering tip onto the twisted wires and apply solder. Letting it melt and float evenly around the joint. This creates a strong, shiny bond that holds the wires together securely, ensuring both excellent electrical contact and a neat, professional finish. After soldering, the connection is very tight and secure. The solder has fully coated the wires, binding all the strands together, so there's no movement at all. It feels solid to the touch, providing both a strong mechanical hold and reliable electrical contact, making the joint durable and long-lasting. In conclusion, by combining proper wire preparation, twisting, and soldering, you can create strong, safe, and professional-looking electrical connections. Whether you use knots, loops, or solder, each method has its own advantages and can be applied depending on the situation. Taking the time to clean, prepare, and insulate the wires ensures durability, reliable performance, and a neat finish for any DIY electrical project.